So you'll need 2 blocks, a strap and a blanket for today's practice. And if you get that all organized beside your mat, then you can come down to your mat. And just let's start by stopping. Okay, so once you find a nice position, a nice way to lie on your mat, could be front, back, or side. Just allow your bones to be heavy. You might have your legs stretched out long, you might have your knees bent, either is fine. Just stop the movement for just a couple of minutes. Just allow the subtle movement of the head, craniosacral movement. Of course, we still have lots of movement, pulsation, sensations in the body. And then take your feet as wide as the corners of your mat, legs long. And just begin to softly let your feet go right to left. So like they're doing a windshield wiper motion. And feel this all the way up into your pelvis. A little bit of internal, external rotation through the legs. And then you can stop that movement, keep your heels plugged into the floor, and now toes back and forth, just so you feel a little rocking through your body. And let this be pretty organic, so don't try too hard here. Just let the feet start to move, and then feel this through your legs and through your pelvis and up through your spine, and back of your head. And you could play around here with being a little more vigorous and a little less vigorous. See which one you like better. Great, and then drop into some stillness again. So the Shavasana shape. Great, then bring feet together, legs together, Tadasana legs, and then stretch your arms overhead. And reach the back of your hands along the floor, but draw your shoulder tops away from your ears. And reach through one heel and the other heel. Just get really nice and long here. Notice what parts of your back body are touching the floor. Take a couple breaths here. And you could practice here for those who've been in the last few classes. On your exhale, draw your front ribs into your back body space. Knit the pelvis. That's on the exhale. Inhale, everything widens, pelvis widens, the rib basket widens. And on the exhale, knit everything back in. Just a little core engagement. And then as we move into different shapes, notice how much core engagement you need or want for that shape. So slide both feet over to the right and slide both hands over to the right. Keep your left hip on the floor. In the side bend, can you effectively knit your ribs in, especially the left side of your rib cage? Can you knit that in on the exhale? Draw your hip pointers towards one another on your next exhale. Inhale, let everything widen and soften. And then slide your feet over to the left, slide your hands over to the left. Can you keep your right hip down on the floor? Can you keep your right shoulder blade engaged on the floor? And on your exhale, knit the ribs in, knit the pelvis. So think about bringing the hip pointers towards one another, and that will engage your lower belly. And then come back to the Tadasana. Feet straight ahead and bring your arms alongside your body with your lower arms, your elbows bent so your lower arms are perpendicular to the floor, fingers pointing up towards the ceiling. And then just press into your elbows, into the floor, and release. So as you press and come into a little bit of a cow shape with the back, so lower back arches away from the floor, sternum lifts away towards your chin or towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, can you draw the front ribs into the back body space? Knit the pelvis together. Okay. Now we've got the legs long here. But now you might want to try the same thing with your knees bent, soles of your feet to the floor. Inhale, widen the pelvis, widen the rib basket. Low back comes away from the floor. Exhale, knit everything together. Really knit the front ribs into the back body space. Now, can you do this? Continue to do this. And on each exhale, just leave a little space underneath your low back. On your next inhale, widen, then press into the feet, lift your hips, and press up into a bridge. Draw the knees away. And then on your exhale, roll everything down one vertebra at a time. Knitting front ribs into the back body space and knitting the hip pointers together. Let's see if you can get all the way through your lumbar spine. Trying to make contact with each vertebra. And then inhale, let everything widen, press into your feet, lift your hips. And then slowly roll this out. Take your time here just to feel into your back body, your spine. Right at the very end, when you touch everything down, that's your next inhale. You widen the pelvis, draw the low back away from the floor slightly, and then press into your feet and lift. And then roll everything back down. And then the next time you set your hips down on the floor, rest your hands down on the floor as well. And now we'll have the arms involved in the movement as well. So inhale, widen. Let everything spread wide, the low back comes away from the floor, press into your feet, lift your hips, and bring your arms behind you. So now, as you lower back down, leave the arms there, and kind of reach the hands away without bringing your shoulders into your ears, but just getting all this length in your spine. Back down, then you can sweep your arms alongside your body again and repeat. So let's repeat this 3 or 4 times on your own. Take your time, feeling into the mobility of your spine. Ease drawing away, keep a lot of length through your back. Great, the next time you come down to the floor, just wait there for us. And now we'll press, do the same thing, but we'll press into the feet, lift the hips, the right arm only comes behind. Turn your gaze to the left. And then as you roll everything down, you slide your head back to the starting position and bring your arm alongside your body in like a wing-like action back to the starting position. So hips come back, head comes back to center, and you sweep your arm like you're making a snow angel back to your side body. Okay, let's try the other side. So inhale and then lift. Left arm comes behind, turn your gaze to the right. And then you slowly come down. Arm sweeps alongside your body, head comes back up to center. All right, let's do one more on each side. And the next time you're down onto the floor, just draw your knees in towards your chest. And take a little interlace hands underneath and rock back and forth. You can also have your hands on the front of your knees, where the shins meet the knees. And allow this to be pretty, allow this to be a pretty big rock so you can really end up side to side. Go back, gets a little massage on that QL muscle. Great, then let's bring the left leg long on the floor and pull the right knee in. Left leg, let's send the left foot, toes back towards shin. So the left leg is in Tadasana and your right leg is pulled in. You do need your strap handy. If you don't have that, grab that. And then just some circles with the right knee in both directions. Then you can take the strap to the ball of your foot and extend your leg up. Now, with the leg extended up to the ceiling, left leg long, right leg long, extended up towards the ceiling. Can you draw the right hip down in space? So you draw the right hip down in space and you're attempting to keep your pelvis nice and level. Good. And then you're gonna allow your hand, the strap to slide through your hands as you circle the right leg, keeping the right leg straight, and make some big circles like you're drawing a circle on the ceiling with your right foot. Take that in both directions. And then coming back to the starting position, and then using the strap, bend through the right knee, pull the right knee towards your side waist and extend. And extend. Just a couple times towards the right side body. And then let's open up right leg to right. You could rest it on the block or the floor. Left leg can stay long. And just your left hip might pull off the floor just a little bit, or you could just put your hand on your left hip pointer and just encourage the left hip down. So you should feel a nice opening in the inner right leg. Then have your strap, use your strap here and bend your right leg as well as you come back up and across your midline in a twist. Strap goes to the left hand. And you can take your gaze over to the right side if that feels nice in your neck. Or you just gaze up at the ceiling. Yeah. Good, good. So right hip, of course, off the floor. And then use your strap, come back up to center with the right leg and slip your left foot in there as well. And press your feet into the strap and pull back with the strap. Bend the elbows for a little work for the biceps. Can you feel the back of your legs pressing towards the space away from you? Start opening the back of your legs up. Around the knees, the hamstrings. Good. Then we take the right leg out. We take the left leg out. Set the strap aside, bend left knee into chest. Right leg long. And then circle left knee around. Directions with your left knee. Feeling into the difference here on this side. Then we strap the left foot. And you can let the strap sort of slide through your hands as you do some big circles now. Strap in the left hand. Like here's the sole of your left foot is drawing some big circles on the ceiling. Take that in both directions. Then back to the starting position and then bend and extend through the left leg. So bringing your knee to the outside of your left rib basket, extending out. And back to the starting position. Open the left leg out to the left. Encourage the right hip to stay down. We'll hold this for about 3 breaths. You could be resting that leg on a block. If you're close to a wall, you can rest it on the wall. That's sort of what happened inadvertently for me here, resting the leg. But don't, if you can get it all the way to the floor, great. If you can't, rest it on something so it's not a big effort, but more of a lengthening, stretching through the inner left thigh. And then on your next inhale, come back to center, come across midline in a twist. So the left leg comes across to the right side. Maybe your gaze is over to the left or just up at the ceiling. Keep the back of your neck long by tucking your chin in towards your sternum. And scoop your belly over to the left. Draw your left ribs, front ribs into the back body space. that nice honest alignment. Good. And then you can bring the left leg back up, slip both feet in again. This time, take your arms, your hands as close to your feet as possible, and then draw your shoulders down to the floor. So try to avoid wrapping the strap with your hands. Use just a grip on the strap to strengthen the hands, pressing your feet into the strap and pressing the back of your legs away. You know, your legs, you might be in an L shape, but you also might be, the legs might be extended a little further out, depending on the openness of your hamstrings. For 3, 2, 1, and you can take the strap and set it off to the side. Bring the soles of your feet back to the floor. Press into the top of your thighs. Inhale. Feel everything spread, ribs spread, pelvis spread. Exhale. Draw your knees into your chest. And then you'll press the legs away. You're gonna stack your knees over your hips. Press your legs into your hands and your hands back into your legs. So there's a little core engagement here. Press your hands into your thighs there, and your thighs back into your hands. Maybe a 3 or 4 out of 10 effort here. But then take your hands to the back of your legs. Same thing, press into your hands with the legs and resist with your hands. Take a couple rounds of breath. Each exhale finds that bracing of knitting the pelvis. So drawing the hip pointers towards one another and drawing the front ribs into the back body space. Yep, looks like we're doing nothing, but you're breathing here. We've got this isometric contraction going on. Good, then release the hands, but leave the knees stacked over the hips. And tap, right toes, left toes, right toes, left toes, right toes, left toes. Forth. Then the next time you come back to the starting position, tap right heel, left heel. When you feel this in your core container, where do you feel this? Good. Then, after 2 more times on each side, take the soles of your feet to the floor, press yourself up, slide your block underneath your sacrum, take one leg long, other knee could stay bent or even suspended in the air. And then take the other leg long. So just releasing any tension or lengthening through the hip flexor here. Then you could try to have both legs long as well, if that feels okay, or go back to one at a time. Soles of the feet back to the floor. Press up and take the block out. And let's roll to one side. Resting on your outstretched arm. Okay, and now feel to lift the sideways up towards the midline. You want a nice straight body. Use your top hand to help you balance initially, but see if you can press your bottom foot, the pinky, into the floor. And then draw the front ribs into the back body space. Find that core engagement that's going to help you balance here. Lift the top leg. Lift the top arm. Keep engaging, keep the bracing of the core, appropriate bracing. It doesn't mean we're holding our breath. We want the breath to move freely, but by engaging the sideways up and the front ribs go into the back body space, I've got this appropriate contraction in my core to keep me balanced here. Okay, let's take the top leg and place it into Virabhadrasana. Do anything you want to with your arms. It could be overhead here, or you could keep it top arm stacked. Press the bottom leg up into the foot and press the foot into the bottom leg. So now there's quite a bit of engagement in your standing leg, just like as if you were standing doing Virabhadrasana. And hold this for 3, 2, 1, release, and roll into your belly. Make a little pillow with your hands, rest your forehead on the pillow. Stretch your legs long, and draw your front ribs away from the floor into your back body space. Inhale, press into your hands, your forearms, and lift. And exhale, float down. Inhale, press and lift. Exhale, float down. So can you feel as you inhale, you have a widening through the rib cage, widening through the pelvic floor, and then as you exhale, draw the front ribs into the back body space and lower down. Take a couple more. And then the next time you're lifted, switch your arms so that you're coming into a sphinx with the hands interlaced. So forearms, elbows are underneath shoulders, forearms make a little triangle, hands are interlaced, and then gaze over one shoulder, and then gaze over the other shoulder. Great. Then from here, press into your forearms, draw your navel away from the floor. Draw your shoulder blades off your shoulders. So draw your shoulder blades down. Navel's off the floor. Pubic bone off the floor. Thighs off the floor. Take an inhale here. And on your exhale, thighs back to the floor. Pubic bone to the floor. Navel to the floor. Shoulder blades down away from the shoulders. Okay. And now we'll roll to the other side. Stretch out, stretch long. And at your top arm here to help you. And now draw the waist, the bottom waist up into the midline. Draw the front ribs into the back body space. Find your balance, press your pinky into the floor. Find your balance here. And lift the top leg. Stack the top arm. You can play with lifting the bottom leg up. That's gonna involve the obliques on the top side of the waist. Right. If that feels okay, you can stay there. If not, just go back to the first variation. bend the top knee, take that foot into Vrksasana. Really draw the bottom leg up into the foot, really feel those two pressing towards one another. The top arm could stretch overhead or simply reach up. Now notice where you might have some tension. If you have any tension in your jaw, your face, your throat, can you release that? And have this be in the core instead. Great, top hand comes to the floor, release your legs long, roll back onto your belly. Bring your arms alongside your waist, forehead on the floor. And here, draw your navel away from the floor. Tops of the feet onto the floor. Draw your shoulder tops up. And that's gonna change the navel. Let's go back to the beginning. So when you draw your navel away from the floor, basically we're contracting, right? We're contracting the middle of the core. So when I reach my shoulder blades off my back, it kind of presses my navel back into the floor. See if you can keep that contraction. So you're trying to pull your navel away from the floor. Press your pubic bone into the floor, palms up towards the ceiling, lift your head and shoulders. Now we're in a back bend, and I'm gonna have full contact with my tummy, right, on the floor. But keep thinking about pulling your navel away from the floor. Squeeze your buttocks, squeeze your legs together, lift your legs. Keep the back of your neck long. And hold this for 3, 2, 1. Release. Take one cheek or temple to the floor. Bend your knees and softly let the knees move back and forth. So your hips are moving, your pelvis is moving here. And then turn your head to the other side. And then come back to center and press yourself up. Hips back, hands forward, puppy pose. You could have a block with your forehead. You might press all the way down on the floor with your forehead and take your hips back. And then from here, just let's pop up a little bit. You can stay on your forearms if you want, but let's take the hips from right to left. And then around in a circle. The hips come forward. I've got a very squeaky floorboard here. Just gonna get into a different position. I'm gonna actually get my blanket out from my knees. I'm gonna keep circling. Hips. Kind of my body goes around in a circle here. You could be on your hands or your forearms. And then just make sure you change the circling. So you're going in the opposite direction at some point. And then bring yourself up to all fours if you're not there. Blocks in the front of your mat. And just take a couple rounds of cat-cow. Now, explore with your cat-cow. What if the hips moved first and then the follow through was into the head? Hips move first, follow through all the way into the head. So hips first, then follow through. Hips first, follow through. And now what if the hips and the head went together? Hips and head went together. Great. Okay. And then you can come to sitting on your heels. Interlace your hands behind your back. See if you can get your fingers to come all the way into the webbing. And then as you rock forward, draw your arms off your back. And spread your knees a little wider. Maybe touch the top of your head down to the floor. Most of the weight's still in your legs, but your head is helping you balance. And then you draw your arms a little further off your back. That's it. Good. And then as you come back up, release the hands. Come to all fours. And then inhale, come up to standing on your knees. Great. So find your head centered over your rib basket, centered over your pelvic bowl. Notice if you've got the bowl tilted in one direction or the other direction where the water might spill out of your pelvic bowl, and find neutral. Find neutral. You gotta feel that from the inside out, right? Good. And then balancing on your knees, bring your right foot forward. Come down into a lunge. You can have your blocks at any height. We'll take mine up to the highest height. And then here, draw the pelvic floor up and bring the front ribs into the back body space. We'll flow a little bit by coming back with the hips and straightening, as much as possible with the front leg. And then coming back into the lunge. And as we move back and forth, keeping that alignment, our alignment of head, rib basket, and pelvic bowl. Next time your hips are back, take your front foot and take it across midline so that the toes are pointing over to the left. And just feel that's a different area in the hamstring getting stretched. Then back to center, come forward in the lunge again, turn the back toes under and press the back leg up. So it's our right foot that is forward, and we've got the back leg lifting towards the ceiling. Find your good alignment, bring your front ribs into your back body space. Left hand stays on the block and you twist over to the right. So it's a closed twist. Reaching fingertips towards the ceiling. Draw the right hip back in space. And then release right hand to the block. Left knee to the floor. Right knee to the floor. Scoot your hips back towards child's pose. It's kind of a child's pose with the arms extended out on the blocks. And then on your next inhale, sweep your arms up, stand up on your knees. Exhale, let your hands float through center and down to the sides of your body and find that nice alignment. Balancing on your right knee now, bring your left foot forward. Come down with a lunge. Bring the front ribs into the back body space. Find that nice alignment and then start that same flow. So the the alignment of our head over the root basket or the light shade, as one of my teachers calls it, and then over the pelvic bowl, gives us a very efficient core, right? We're not bent too much one direction or the other direction, but we have the most efficient core for good breathing and good function, right? So now as you come forward, you just, and backwards, you're just sort of exploring, am I coming forward and then like overarching or flaring the ribs up? Can you correct that, you know, or get that more efficient alignment as you move back and forth? Next time your hips are back, draw the front foot across midline, so you feel a little different stretch in the hamstring. And take the foot straight again, come forward into the lunge, turn your back toes under and lift that back leg. You see if you can really reach the back hamstring all the way up towards the ceiling. Then right hand stays on the block and we twist to the left. You can extend the arm up. I'm not going to do that today, so I have a shoulder injury. And then drawing the left hip back in space. Draw the left hip back in space. For 3, 2, 1. Come back, both hands on the block. Drop the right knee to the floor. Come back into the child's pose. Arms extended out on the blocks. Good. Inhale to come up. Turn your blocks down to the lowest level or ditch them. We take the palms of my hand, the back of the palm onto the back of the block, turn toes under, and come up to downward facing dog. Engage your legs here in down dog. So draw your kneecaps up, up, up. And then think about that same alignment in your back. So head stacked over the rib basket, stacked over the pelvis, pelvic bowl. Maybe it just feels, you know, like the opposite orientation because we're upside down. And then we're going to walk the feet a little closer to the hands. So we're sort of in almost like a fold / downward dog. Bend through the left knee. Take your right hand to your left outer thigh or left outer shin, and then re-straighten and come into a twist. And unwind, hands to the block. Bend through the right leg generously, left hand to the outer right leg, and then straighten. And then unwind. And then continue to walk your feet up towards your hands. So now you're in more of a standard fold. Blocks can be at any orientation. You can remove your blanket or whatever you've got there. So blocks, you can have your hands on the blocks. You can have your hands on the floor. You might have your blocks up at their highest setting. Just honor where you are. And then we'll slowly bend through the knees and press up to standing. And once you're standing, you can move around, shake around, bounce the heels, move around your room, but we'll meet in Tadasana. So, you know, bouncing the heels, it's kind of the same thing you're doing on the floor, but now just releasing any little bit of stickiness that I have. Right. Walking around your space, letting your whole body come free up there. And then we'll meet in Tadasana. Okay, so in your Tadasana, chin is back, so head is stacked over, rib basket, stacked over the bowl. Reach your fingertips down towards the floor. And then spread your feet a little bit wider than your hips. And inhale the right arm up and slide the left hand down the left leg as you come into a side bend. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, let the right hand float down. Inhale, sweep the left arm up. Slide the right hand down your thigh. Inhale, come back. Exhale, let the left arm release. So a couple times, just a nice, easy side bend. Think about keeping the nice alignment so you're not bending at the waist, but you are truly doing a side bend. And when you come back out of the side bend, right, let your obliques do that work. So this is all the obliques, sideways doing the work. So back and forth one more time on that one. And then come back into Tadasana. Find Tadasana. Remember that Tadasana is our blueprint. We come home to Tadasana, to come back to that nice alignment, efficient alignment within our own idiosyncrasies, right? Great. And then step the right foot forward, the left foot back. And find warrior one stance. Sweep the arms up, bend through the front knee, press into the back heel, find warrior one. Draw the front ribs into the back body space. Inhale to reach the fingertips up. And on your exhale, just straighten the front leg and let the arms float down. Inhale. Bend through the front knee as you press into the back heel and sweep the arms up. And exhale, simply let the arms float down as you straighten through the front leg. And you can practice that pulling back, knitting of the pelvis, knitting of the ribs. Inhale, everything widens. Exhale, draw everything in. Arms float down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Bend through the front knee, reach the arms up. And now on your exhale, step your back foot back and open up into warrior two. Adjust your stance as needed. Inhale, straighten through the front leg, arms come up. And on your exhale, draw front ribs into the back body space. Knit the pelvis. Reach the arms up. And now turn those feet to be parallel to one another. Hands on your hips. Turn the other foot out. Excuse me. Turn the other foot out. So now you're in warrior two on this side. And find that same little flow. Inhale, everything widens. Exhale, draw in. Draw in, front ribs. Draw in, knit the pelvis. So we're engaging in the core appropriately for this action. Next time you find yourself in the warrior two stance, take your hands to your hips, turn your back foot, step it forward, and find warrior one. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, straighten the front leg and let the arms float down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, scoop the arms up. Exhale, float the arms down, leave everything in. Let's take a hold on this in warrior one. And now check to see if you've got your ribs flared out and draw them into your back body space. Feel how that engages the core a little differently. Knit your pelvis, so think about drawing hip pointers towards one another. And see how that changes the pose for you. 3, 2, 1. Straighten the front leg, flip the arms down, bring the feet together, find Tadasana. Great. So we'll end with one balancing pose. We'll get the Vrksasana going here. Lots of options, including wall space, if you would like to use wall space. And including block, if you'd like to play with standing on a block. So we'll put the weight into our left foot. If you're using the block, you can cover the right foot beside the block. And then just rest the right foot on the left foot. And find your balance. Now, engage your core to help you find the balance. If you're on the floor, off the block, your foot can go against your calf, or against the inner thigh. Of course, you could try all that with the block as well. And if you're using the wall, you might just use the wall behind you. You might use the wall to the side. Or you could use the wall facing the wall. You could just touch your hands, take them away. Touch your hands, take them away. Gradually finding your balance. Good. Okay. Once you come out of that one, you can walk around your space or bounce your heels, and then we'll go to the second side. So weight comes into the right foot. Think about head over, rib basket over pelvic bowl. Releasing, coming out, around your space, coming back to Tadasana. Wide feet, and then just let's move in a circle with the pelvis in one direction, the opposite direction. Ooh. Even the whole torso. Good. And then come into a squat. Into a squat. Lower to the floor. Take your legs out in front of you in Dandasana. So Dandasana pose, right? Legs out in front, legs straight. Find that same alignment. And find just a little bit, just enough engagement of the core. So front ribs into back body space. Drop the shoulder tops. Draw the navel up towards the midline. Knit the hip pointers towards one another. For 3, 2, 1. Okay. Then just slide your buttocks towards your feet, take the back of your thighs and roll down onto your back. And here, take anything that feels nice as you come towards Shavasana, towards final resting. But just move it around in your body. Oh, I feel like I want to do this. Okay, I feel like I want to do this. Let your body tell you what it wants. Let your body tell you what it wants here. Maybe you're ready just to go legs long, right into Shavasana. Right, another twist, a happy baby. And as you start to settle, feel the heaviness of your bones. Feel the heaviness of your bones. You might even lift the leg and let it plop down. Your arm, let it plop down. Okay. Feel the heaviness of your bones on the earth. Take some time to make yourself comfortable so you can have the length of Shavasana that you want. So that means maybe covering up with a blanket or putting on some socks. Inhale into a soft belly. Inhaling into a soft belly. Just releasing any tension in your face. Release your jaw. Release the muscles around your eyes, between the brow. Just let everything drop. Embracing the stillness. Part of the practice. So signing off here, namaste. Enjoy the rest of your day. See you soon.